coast and boulder to boulder on iHeartRadio. Also AMFM247.com. Tune in, iTunes, and Radio Loyalty. And we are going to go to our next guest who's going to join us here in our big program. If I can get the Skip Skype here to work. Let's do this. Let's go to Pam Oakes, who's going to join us. And we are hopefully going to be joined here by Pam Oakes. If not, there we are. There is Pam. How are you, my friend?
How are you?
Oh, it's been a mess today. And, the only way I can do a lot of these calls is I've had to do it through Skype. And and you're on the road again, apparently.
I'm on the road.
What are you doing today? You always look like you're having a national adventure when I find you on the road.
Actually, we are developing an automotive course for a charter school.
Wow!
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah.
So you always have interesting things to talk about. What do you have for us today, my friend?
Today, well, I got a call through our findmeautohelp.com website, and at first I thought, it was kind of curious to me, not that why wouldn't you know this, but thinking further on, it was a really good question. They called me up and they said, could you tell me where my car is at?
What in the world?
And then they said, and I said, you have it at a repair shop? And they said, no, they got towed. Okay. And I said, did you call the tow company? And they said, no, it got towed by the police.
Whoa!
Okay, for parking. Of
course.
Now this is a good question because this has happened to individuals out there. You know, they parked for 5 minutes in a no park zone, unloading something or whatever, running into the store, and their car's gone when they come back out because there's more than 5 minutes. So what happens to this? Well, yes, you call the local law enforcement agency because they have record of where the vehicle was impounded.
Yes.
So that's a good tidbit for everybody who has a tendency to park in those situations. Or, if they got in a fender bender, they couldn't drive the car, they're ambulatory over to the hospital.
Yeah.
Call the local law enforcement. They have a log of everything.
That's amazing. It is Pam Oakes. She's with us today. It sounded like a rib when they're like when they call you up and they say, "Hey, can you tell me where my car is?"
At first that's what I thought. I'm like, okay, who's playing a joke? Especially when I says, "Yeah, I got it." I'm like, you know where it's at? And I'm like, Peter's sitting across from me here. It's not him.
You know, Pete. That last week he stepped in for you.
Yeah.
He knows his shit.
Yes, he does.
So I'll tell you, Pete is great. We had a lot of fun with him because at the time I had Pete the cat sleeping on the desk, and I had Pete the auto guy on Skype. So it was quite the deal.
Yeah, he had to step in because I have my final lesson of not crunching on crushed ice because I cracked a tooth. And
I like crushed ice. I'll have to learn that lesson too at some point, Pam.
Yeah, $1,300 later, you learn it really, really quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
So take us through what you're doing today with this developing this whole thing.
Well, the last 5 years, I actually developed a course for Goodwill Industries, and it's called ACG1 Prep. And it takes those lube and oil techs out of that $9 an hour, and it boosts them up after they get their ASCG1 and, of course, 609 EPA, and it boosts them up into that $18, $19, $20 livable wage, where I say more money through education.
Yes.
pay higher wages through education, which is phenomenal because they can go up from there. So they take this course, and we're actually going to be working on vehicles, pointing out things as they're doing this, and we're going to be showing them all the little things that go on underneath the hood, and pull wheels off, and explain to them the mechanical process of this automobile that has 30,000 moving parts on it, or not all moving, but 30,000 parts on it, plus or minus in some cases. But they have a career, and they're getting off on the right foot. Now they have this opportunity with manufacturers. They can go over to, for an example, Mercedes-Benz. They have their own school, and they want to see that G1 certification. So we put them into that program. They have a career for life.
That's amazing. Now, before we let you go, how do we find you online and get involved with what you're doing?
Just go over to findmeautohelp.com. You can ask questions. It can tell you where to get a tow truck.
Well, that's
and
always
everything
good.
else in between. But it's all about consumer education. See, that's the other facet. I have the tech education, the up-and-coming tech ed, and the consumer ed.
That's awesome.
Near and dear to my